What's up, fight fans? This is UFC President Dana White, and this weekend we are back in the UFC Apex. FBI Director Kash Patel has rented out the whole arena, and we have a badass card in store for him. First fight you might not know about: Tisha Pennington versus Denise Gomes. Now, this is a women's MMA fight, and if you know, the women always have the most badass banger fights. There will be head and arm throws, there will be cage clinching, there will be shadow boxing at range, and there will be some boring ass grappling. You do not want to miss this fight. Next fight you might not know about: Daniel Marcos versus Miles Johns. Now, this fight, the outcome is completely predetermined. This fight is rigged and fixed, okay? There was huge favorites on Daniel Marcos at the beginning of this week, but right before the fight, there will be a lot of huge bets placed on Miles Johns to win in round one. And also, another important factor in this fight: Jason Herzog is the referee. So if you're a betting man, make sure to place those bets on a round one finish or over 1.5 rounds. This weekend, live on ESPN Plus, there will be the same ads all night. The stream will lag. You might even get locked out. If you don't know, now you know. Man, what the fuck is cracking, gang? It's T-Nasty, and I'm back with another banger for you guys. Yes, that is right. Back once again for the second week in a row. I am blessing you with my existence. I'm going back to back like I'm Drake. I'm on a fucking kill streak, one away from a UAV. I'm fucking back, baby. Okay. But the reason I'm here today is to go over my picks for this weekend's UFC Apex card, which is low-key a fucking banger. Like, I think this card is actually going to be fire. I mean, let's just look here. We got Randy Rude Boy Brown. We got Muslim Salikov, the king of Kung Fu. We got Ricky Simone. We got Christian Leroy Duncan, Marco Tulio, Hyder Emil, Adrian Yanez. We got Jackson McVeigh and Miles Johns, my boys from Missouri. And the rest are fucking nobodies. I'll keep it 100. But this fight low-key is a banger, okay? Unlike last week's card, which was absolute fucking dog shit. We will get to that in a minute, okay? But I'm going to be giving you guys my 100% completely accurate picks because I know ball, okay? And as we saw last weekend, the UFC is rigged. And my uncle Albie, who does happen to work for the UFC, he leaked the script for this weekend to me. So make sure to parlay the opposite of all of my picks if you enjoy free money. Okay, but before that, I got to give you guys my reactions to the last week's UFC Apex card, which was genuinely a fucking terrible dog shit fucking card, like genuinely one of the worst cards in UFC history, okay? But there surprisingly was a lot of talking points from this card, okay? But for all the wrong reasons, okay? But first thing I want to talk about, we got to talk about how the first 4 fights on this card were absolutely fucking horrible, like some of the most boring fucking fights ever, okay? I mean, we literally had 3 out of 4 of the first fights. Look at these fucking prelims. 3 out of the first 4 fights were fucking women's MMA fights, okay? And I knew this shit, like, what the fuck are they doing? Okay, sorry, I'll get to that second. What the fuck are these guys doing? Like, these matchmakers have no clue how to build a card. Literally 3 women's fights on the first 4 fights of the card. Like, it just makes no fucking sense. These guys are idiots, okay? But the worst fucking part for me is the fact that this fucking men's fight was the worst fucking fight. This was the most boring fight on the whole card. This shit absolutely killed it for me. And I knew this shit was going to be trash, okay? I knew it was worth skipping, but my girlfriend's dad wanted to watch. And I said, okay, fine, we'll put it on. There's nothing else worth watching. We'll throw it on. And this shit ended up being fucking absolute dog shit, okay? Now, this first fight on the card, this fucking guy right here, fucking Seok Hun Ko, this guy's name is literally KO. Literally, his name is fucking Knockout, okay? And his nickname is the Korean Tyson. The Korean fucking Mike Tyson, okay? And this guy's just a fucking lay and pray fighter. Like, all he does is wrestle, do literally no damage. It was the most boring shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, this guy went 4 for 4 on takedowns. He didn't even take him down over and over again. It wasn't like no Marab shit. He just, like, every takedown he shot, he got, and he controlled him for 3 minutes of the round. Somehow he landed 124 strikes. It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's just not true, okay? And the worst part was, we had guys like DC on fucking commentary absolutely glazing this guy. I literally heard him dripping drool onto the fucking microphone, and he's talking about how fun he is to watch. Like, that's just absolutely mind-blowing to me. That shit was so fucking boring. And then we have guys on Twitter, and they're like, actually, he was landing elbows and landing strikes and getting control time. If you don't like wrestling, then go watch kickboxing. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Genuinely. That shit is the most retarded take ever. I can't stand that shit. Okay, it is a sport, but it's also entertainment. Okay, and I enjoy watching fights that are actually fun to watch and not just the most boring shit ever that makes me want to look down at my phone the whole time. Okay, that fight was fucking terrible. Okay, next thing to talk about, Ketlin Vieira versus Norma Dumont. I have no idea why this fight was on the prelims. Like, this is basically a number one contenders fight. Norma Dumont, at the most, she's one fight away from the title. Like, she should be fighting Kayla Harrison next. Genuinely, I don't know why this fight was on the prelims. It makes literally no sense. Okay, next fight to talk about, Dante Johnson versus SD Dumas. Okay. First things first, SD Dumas, my boy low-key, he has an underrated record. I mean, look at this record right here. It's just genuinely, like, people just underestimate this guy. He just does it over and over again. You know, keeps coming back. But I know whenever SD Dumas' lawyer was watching this fight, as soon as he saw him gas out in round one, he fucking flipped the coffee table. I know he was pissed. Fucking, he's never seeing those fucking payments for his lawyer fees. No, but it's time to finally cut this bum, Cedric Dumas. Like, I don't know why he's still in the UFC. Like, this guy literally had to pull out of a fight because he couldn't get his ankle monitor off. He's literally out on bail, been arrested so many times, just like terrible. Like, this guy is literally just pure horrible PR for the UFC. And he's not even fucking good. Like, this guy sucks dick at fighting. He sucks. He's terrible. He's been finished multiple times now. He hasn't gotten a single finish himself. I think he's won a fight or two, maybe. But they've all been boring as fuck. Like, this guy genuinely is trash, and he's a horrible dog shit human being. So just cut this fucking bum already, okay? And then what makes it even worse is the guy who won, Dante Johnson. At the post-fight press conference, he's talking about, you know, we need to forgive him, and, you know, it's bad to make assumptions, and blah, blah, blah. Dude, you are literally defending a woman-beating criminal, okay? So what does that say about you, all right? Anyways, next fight to talk about, we got my boy Billy Elicana versus Kevin Christian. Now, okay, so a few things for this fight. First of all, my boy Kevin Christian, okay, this guy, he's literally 6'7". I mean, the UFC, they just had easy promotion right there in the palm of their hands. I mean, that's a big missed opportunity if you ask me. But on the other side, Billy Elicana, this dude, he literally was wearing his fucking shorts backwards in the fight. Like, I don't even know how you do this. This guy, he has to either have a genuine intellectual disability or he did that shit on fucking purpose. Because, like, I don't understand how you end up with your shorts on backwards for the whole fight. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever put your shorts on backwards or put your pants on backwards or whatever, but as soon as that happens, you just fucking notice. Like, that shit is mad uncomfortable. So I don't know how the fuck this guy went through the whole fight with his shorts on backwards, but credit to him for getting the win. Now, the main talking point from this fight is due to the finish. So basically what happened was Elicana, he landed a nice little left hook, dropped Kevin Christian, and then got on top, locked in a tight-ass rear naked choke. And then my boy Kevin Christian, he's literally on the right side, tapping for dear fucking life. Okay, this guy was tapping the fuck out. But somehow, the referee completely missed it, didn't see the tap at all, and just sat there and watched as the fucking last breath left Kevin Christian's body. Like, he just watched him go to fucking sleep. And, like, I just don't understand. Like, these referees are genuinely fucking idiots. Like, even if you didn't see the tap, like, your job is to protect the fighters from themselves sometimes, you know? And if you see a guy in a locked up choke or a locked up submission like that, and you don't see him tapping, sometimes you have to step in and stop the fight to protect them, you know, prevent injury and all that. But yeah, it was just genuinely a dog shit stoppage, but it was crazy seeing him choke him out like that. He literally was tapping for dear life, and the referee just fucking watched as he fucking died. But anyways, next fight to talk about, we're on the main card now. Now, this one, you guys have probably heard about this. This is talk of the town in the MMA community this week. This is probably about to be a mainstream story here soon, but basically, this fight was fucking rigged. It was fixed. My boy Isaac Dulgarian here, he took a fucking dive, pretty much. Like, that's my theory. Either he took a dive or he was injured and everyone knew. So basically what happened was all week, Isaac Dulgarian was a huge favorite, like minus 250, minus 260, something like that. And then right before the fight, literally like an hour before the fight, a bunch of big-ass bets were placed on Yadier Deval, on him to win in round one, on money line. And then fight goes through. Apparently, the UFC was notified, and they let it happen anyways. But fight goes on. Isaac Dulgarian looks like absolute dog shit. Okay, gets easily finished in round one, and just like genuinely one of the worst performances of his career, of the night, of UFC history. I mean, all the commentators were shitting on him. It was quite funny. But yeah, Isaac Dulgarian, this guy, if you don't know anything about Isaac Dulgarian, I mean, this guy, he wasn't even good enough to be the first full send fighter. Back a few years ago, he was on looking for a fight, and Dana was hanging with the Nelk boys. They were looking to sign their first full send fighter. He got the TKO, and they signed him. And then I don't really know what happened. There's not a lot of clear information out there, but basically from my understanding, I think like his first fight in the UFC got canceled, and then the Nelk Boys basically just fucking ghosted him, and they ended up signing Mike Malott instead. So yeah, he not even good enough to be the first full cent fighter. So yeah, but I hope the bag was worth it, man. You're a fucking moron. Like I hope they paid you at least $100,000, if not more, because your career's over. I mean, apparently you just signed a new contract, and then UFC released you today, and you may or may not be going to fucking federal prison. So I really hope that bag was worth it, man, because you genuinely were like actually a pretty good prospect, like one of the better wrestlers in the division, and you threw that all away. Literally, you threw the fucking fight. Like I mean, it's just crazy. I'm gonna have to make a video soon probably about the fight fixing MMA, because that shit's getting ridiculous. Jason Herzog, I'm on to you. Anyways, moving on. Next fight we got to talk about is the co-main event, Ante Delija versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, the craziest part about this fight is that, shout out to my last video if you guys watched that one about the eye pokes. Literally 1 week later, after the big Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane eye poke situation, this guy Ante Delija is fighting. He's a close friend and training partner of Tom Aspinall. And all week he's talking, he's fucking glazing Aspinall, defending him, saying, he's not a quitter. Guys who eye poke need harsher circumstances. And then he goes into this fight, and what does he do? He fucking eye pokes Waldo Cortez Acosta, okay? And this one was a bad referee blunder, even worse than the last one. So I went back and watched this. Basically, from my understanding what happened, Delija eye pokes Waldo, and then proceeds to go on and basically TKO him. Mark Smith steps in, right? He doesn't wave off his hands. He says, stop, doesn't wave off his hands. And Delija thinks he won. Everyone's mad confused. All the cornermen, all the cutmen, all the security guards, everybody's in the fucking cage. And Mark Smith's calling for the replay. He sees the replay, sees that it was an eye poke that led to the stoppage or whatever. And instead of calling it a DQ or even a no contest, like he probably should have, the fight should have been over. Once everybody else came in the cage, like there's no more restarting the fight. But he restarts the fight anyways. And then my fucking boy, Waldo Cortez Acosta, I mean, no shade to Tom Aspinall, but he came back from the eye poke and got the fucking TKO on Ante Delija. That shit was mad fucking impressive, bro. Shout out Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, I was hating on this guy. I thought he sucked, but low-key, I might be a fan of this guy now. So, but yeah, anyways, literally 1 week after the fucking eye poke situation, we get another one. It's fucking hilarious. And all of this stuff overshadowed the main event, okay? Like, Steve Garcia is a fucking dog, bro. Like, he had a really fucking good performance, just absolutely dog-walked David Onama. Like, dude literally landed 2 significant strikes in the whole fight. Just got his fucking ass beat. But yeah, Steve Garcia, I think he's a future top contender. Like, he might not be, like, champ material or anything like that, but I think he will at least be top 10, maybe top 5. Like, this guy's fucking good. Really fucking good. Crazy pressure. And, honestly, I thought he would be a bum because, like, he lost his first couple fights in the UFC. He lost to Luis Pena, and he lost to Mahashata, okay? And, like, this guy literally looks like a fucking NPC. Like, he does not look like a top-level fighter, but this guy's really fucking good. But, yeah, it was completely overshadowed, and the worst part was, like, it ended so fast. Like, it literally felt like a premature ejaculation. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever busted in 3 pumps. I know a thing or two about that, but that shit fucking sucks, and that's basically how this felt. And that basically just sums up the Apex in general. Like, that's just how it always feels when people fight in the Apex, but regardless, this is a really good performance. And aside from that, just this card was just fucking trash. There's fucking Dana was on Nina Drama's stream earlier in the week, and some fan said something like, Dana, why is this card so terrible? And he was like, man, it hasn't even happened yet. He's like, come back to me after the fights happen and tell me how bad it was. Is basically what he said. And then it ended up being fucking dog shit anyways. Like card was genuine fucking trash. So boring. And all the fake hardcores are in here, and they're like, actually, the fights with the least amount of big names always have the most amazing fights. Shut the fuck up. Stop pretending that you enjoy this fucking slop fest. Like, this is literally what they fucking give us, bro. Like, this is what they schedule. And then it ends up being boring as fuck. Like, yeah, it makes fucking sense. These matchups suck dick, dude. Like, it's just so bad. I genuinely don't know what they're doing. And all these fake hardcores are fucking glazing for no reason. These guys have no idea what they're talking about, okay? These guys just started watching in 2020, so, like, they're used to this shit. This is all they know, okay? But if you're a real hardcore like me, this is what the real MMA fan pipeline is like, okay? So you get into the sport at first, and you're a casual, right? You only watch the big fights. You tune in for the pay-per-views, maybe Ilia Topuria, maybe Conor McGregor. this is what you do. You're a casual, okay? But then, you start to fall in love with the sport and you get fucking obsessed, okay? And you become what I call a fake hardcore, right? These are the guys, they literally watch every single fucking fight. They're watching PFL, they're watching WMMA, they're watching the worst fucking matchups, they're watching the Apex prelims and fucking loving it, okay? These guys are the worst. They're the fake hardcores. And then once you push through and you wake up, you realize that there's no point in watching this fucking dog shit slop that they feed us every week. You become a real hardcore, okay? And you skip all the slop, you skip the terrible Apex card, you skip the prelims, you skip the WMMA. You don't even know PFL is happening, and you only watch the fights that are worth watching. That is what a real hardcore does, okay? But anyways, this fight card, the only good talking points are a betting scandal and terrible refereeing, and nobody even cares about Steve Garcia, who had a really fucking good performance, okay? That just sums up the Apex in general. Terrible card, so boring. Only good things to talk about are fucking controversies, okay? But that brings me on next point, and people are hating on next week's card too. Like I get it. I love to hate on the Apex, but this card, low-key, I think might be a fucking banger, okay? So let's get right into my picks for this card, okay? Like I said earlier, parlay the opposite. It's scripted, 100% accurate picks, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get right into it. First fight of the night on the prelims, we got Jackson McVeigh versus Robert Valentin. Okay, so this guy over here, Robert Valentin, this guy, I loved watching him on The Ultimate Fighter. I thought all of his fights on there were pretty entertaining, and I thought he was a fucking complete savage. Like, he was beating the fuck out of these dudes. But he's turned out to be pretty shit in the UFC so far. I mean, he's 0-2. And my boy Jackson McVeigh, this guy, he's from St. Louis. That's my dog. Fought on Shamrock FC. And I think he's a much better grappler. Really good submission game. Especially based off the fact that Valentin got wrestle-fucked by Torres Finney in well, not his last fight, but 2 fights ago. He got wrestle-fucked by a guy who's way smaller than Jackson McVeigh. And so, therefore, that leads me to believe that he's probably going to get finished on the ground by a guy who has a dangerous submission game like Jackson. So, the way I think this fight's going to go, I think he's going to do well on the feet at first. I think he's probably going to touch him up a little bit. And then eventually in, like, the second round, I think he's going to get taken down and subbed with, like, an arm triangle from the top. Either that or he's going to hurt McVeigh, maybe drop him. And then when he's trying to chase the finish, I think Jackson's going to lock up a submission from the bottom, like a triangle or armbar or something like that. I just think this guy has nasty submissions, and I think Valentin is kind of trash on the ground. So, yeah. My official pick, it's going to be Jackson McVeigh to win by round 2 or round 3 submission. All right, next fight on the card. We got Tisha Pennington versus Denise Gomes. Now, if you know Tisha Pennington, all this girl does is just run around pretty much and shadow box at range. And I think she's going to do just that in this fight. But I think she's probably going to get picked apart because Denise Gomes, low-key, is actually like kind of good for WMA. Like, she does get finishes. But I think Tisha's going to be good enough to, go all 3. And she has enough experience. I don't think she's going to be able to get finished by Denise. But I think Gomes will be doing more damage. And I think she's probably going to get some ground control. But regardless, it's WMMA, bro. So who fucking cares? But my official pick, I'm going with Denise Gomes to win by decision. All right, next fight on the card. We got Miles Johns. Oh, whoops, hold on. We got Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. Okay. Now, Miles Johns, he's a Missouri boy. It's Kansas City, not STL. But that's still my dog. I mean, I'm not from Missouri. I'm from Illinois, but close enough. So I still rock with him. And Daniel Marcos, he's kind of overrated, especially at the beginning of his career. And he's definitely been a fucking split decision machine. All of his fights are usually pretty boring. And I don't think his fight's going to be any different. I pretty much think Marcos is just going to be dancing around, fighting at range, point fighting, and I think he's going to go on to probably win a boring-ass 29-28 split decision. So, yeah, official pick, I'm going with Daniel Marcos to win by decision. All right, next fight on the card. We got Josh Hokett versus Max Jimenez. Josh Hokett versus the fucking locked character. That's crazy. All right, Josh Hokett, this guy, he just fought on the Contender Series a few weeks ago, like a couple months ago. And he's definitely being overrated as fuck just because he's a wrestler at heavyweight. And that division is just absolute fucking dog shit. So he's probably going to actually be able to do pretty well. But I just think he's overrated. I don't think he's that good. And the right-wing grifting act, it's just fucking cringe. And it's fucking annoying. Like, just let the fucking fighter do the talking, bro. You're not fucking funny. But anyways, who the fuck is Max Jimenez? Like, I have no clue who this guy is. The UFC doesn't even know who he is. Like, I don't know how they even found this guy. They don't have any information on him, no picture. Every picture I've seen of this guy, he's wearing a karate gi, so that just lends me to think he's going to get taken down and fucked up. So, yeah, I just think Josh is going to be able to take him down, and easily get a ground and pound TKO in round 1. So official pick, I'm going with Josh Hokett by TKO in round 1. All right, next fight on the card, we got Mayra Bueno Silva. I keep doing this shit. We got Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Jaqueline Cavalcanti. Okay, now Bueno Silva, we gotta study this girl's fall off. That shit was generational. Literally a year ago, she was co-main eventing a pay-per-view, and then she goes to the Apex prelims in 1 year. Like, that's just crazy. She was definitely overrated as fuck though. Like, just because she has a good submission game, that's everyone thought she was good, and then she got her way to the title fight, and she got her ass beat by fucking Raquel Pennington. Okay, I mean that says enough. But like I said, she does have a good submission game though. And so I do think she's going to win because of that. I think it's going to probably be a boring-ass round 1. A lot of cage clinching. Maybe they'll go to the ground. If they do, it's probably going to be boring as shit. And then I think in round 2, I think Mayra's is going to take her down. Maybe not like all the way to the ground, maybe just backpack her. But I think she's going to be able to grapple with her in round 2 and get the submission. But once again, it's WMMA, bro. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, official pick, I'm going with Mayra Bueno Silva to win by submission in round 2. All right, next fight of the night. Now, finally, we got one worth fucking talking about. We got Adrian Yanez versus Christian Quinones. All right, Adrian Yanez is that fucking dude, okay? This is my boy, fucking Mini Masvidal. Like, this dude's got fucking hands. He's him. All right, he did kind of fall off, but I think he still's got the hands. I think he still has it. And anybody who isn't like a top 20 to top 30 fighter, they're getting pieced the fuck up. And Christian Quinones, this guy, he's low-key trash, been super inactive. Coming off a loss. I mean, what else is there to say about this guy? I basically think he's going to be running away for most of the fight. And eventually, I just think he's going to get caught. And I think Adrian Yanez is going to get a CTE Society KO. I think he's due for one. And he's going to excite fucking Cash Patel in the Apex and all 5 of the fans that are there. So yeah, I'm going with Adrian Yanez to win the fight by KO in round 1. All right, next fight on the prelims. This is main eventing the prelims. We got Hyder Emil versus Jamal Emmers. My boy Hyder Emil, representing the Scrap Pack in California. This dude's a fucking dog, okay? His only loss in the UFC so far in his whole career is to Jose Delgado. Which, speaking of, a little sidetrack here. Every fucking time I get behind a fighter, they go on to miss weight in their next fight and then either win or lose. Robbery decision. Like, make it make sense. Like, it's crazy. But Jose Delgado is still that dude, and he's the only one that's been able to beat Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil is really fucking good. And Jamal Emmers on the other side, he is a good fighter, but I just don't think he has that dog in him, especially not compared to Hyder. So I think it's going to be a good scrap for as long as it lasts. I think they're going to be scrapping on the feet. Jamal probably will land some good, 1-2s, some right hands, some left hands. But I think basically Hyder Emil eventually, I think he's going to start picking up the pace as the fight goes on. And late in round 1, round 2, round 3. And I basically just think he's going to go on and break Jamal. So yeah, I'm going with my official pick. I'm going with Hyder Emil to win by round 3 TKO. All right, next fight on the card. Kicking off the main card. Man, I just got a round of a fucking applause for this fight. I mean, this fight will be a fucking banger. Okay, this is the people's main event. We got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. And both of these guys are really fucking good. I think they're both future top 15 fighters. We're going to see both these guys putting on good-ass fights for a long time. It's just a shame they have to fight each other. One of them has to lose. But they're blessing us with it. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight. And the fans are definitely going to be winning in this one. And shout out to Marco Tulio. I mean, this dude's a fucking savage. And he's banging Norma Dumont. I mean, mad respect for that, bro. But yeah, I think CLD, what's going to happen, I think he's going to try to fight long and dance around like he always does. And I think Tulio's going to be looking to put on a lot of pressure, have a lot of volume out there. And I think eventually CLD, I think he's going to get trapped against the cage. He's going to get hit with a lot of pressure, a lot of strikes. And I just think he's going to get caught. Probably, I think it's going to either be a left hook, or I think maybe he'll be like trying to shoot a takedown and get hit with a flying knee, or just like a regular knee as he's ducking in and dropped, or just like a crazy head kick. And I think he's going to end up getting knocked out. So yeah, my official pick, after a banger fight, I'm going with Marco Tulio to win by TKO in round 2. All right, next fight on the main card, we got Ricky Simone versus Raoni Barcelos. Now, shout out to Ricky Simone. I mean, if you guys don't know Ricky Simone, he's the last guy to beat Merab. And yeah, I mean, little spoiler, I do think Ricky Simone's gonna win this fight, and maybe after he'll finally get that O'Malley fight and get fucking slept out cold. But yeah, both these guys are pretty good, and they're both like just outside the top 15. The way I think this fight's gonna go, I think Simone's gonna piece him up on the feet for sure. I think he's gonna have the striking advantage, and I think Barcelos is gonna be trying to grapple. I think he's gonna be shooting takedowns, but I think Ricky Simone's gonna be able to out grapple him and basically just out hustle him and just put a pace on him, land a lot of shots, get a little bit of control time, and I think Ricky Simone's gonna go on and win a decision. So yeah, my official pick, I'm going Ricky Simone by unanimous decision. All right, next fight on the main card. We got Chris Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. Now, Chris Padilla, this guy, he's known as the prospect killer. He's already beaten quite a few guys, giving out quite a few fraud checks. But Ismael Bonfim, he's already been fraud checked. Who was it? Benoit Scamdini, he fraud checked this guy already. Okay, but I think he's still due for a fraud check this week because, you know, he's on the same card as his brother, so everyone's going to be fucking hyping up. You already know the UFC is going to be all over that shit, posting videos and pictures of the two of them together. The first brother pair on the same card in the UFC, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, everyone's going to be hyping him up. And basically, I think Chris Padilla is going to go out there and fraud check this guy. I think Bonfim has the ground advantage, but I think Chris Padilla will be able to keep it standing and basically just outwork him on the feet. So yeah, I'm going to go with Chris Padilla to win by unanimous decision. All right, next up on the card, we got my boy Muslim, the king of Kung Fu, Salikov versus Euros Medic. Now, Salikov, in this fight, look for Muslim Salikov to be throwing the spinning shit, okay? I think he's going to be spinning quite a bit in this fight. He's going to be spinning like a ballerina. And my boy Medic on the other side, now this guy, he's a beast. He's got really good fucking striking, crazy knockouts. But the thing is, literally in every single fight, win or lose, he's getting touched up and tagged in every fucking fight. Literally every guy he's fought has fucking hit him with a crazy shot. And like, you just can't be doing that against Muslim Salikov, man. Muslim Salikov is going to piece you up and knock you out if you stand there in front of him and you're there to be hit. So with that being said, I think the way the fight's going to go, I think Medic is going to hurt him early, maybe even drop him. But I don't think he's going to be able to finish him. You know, I think he's going to get reckless, and then I think he's going to get knocked out. I think it'll either be a left hook, a spinning head kick, or the one I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a spinning back fist is going to sleep him. And I'm going to go with Muslim Salikov to win the fight by KO in round 1. Okay, next fight on the card in the co-main event, we got Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. And I mean, what can we say? We got Matt Schnell co-main event, bro. I mean, come on. Hey, shout out to Matt Schnell, though. NFA commentator. I've been in the same room as this guy. But this guy, Matt Schnell, he literally gets his ass beat in like almost every fucking fight. And he's a quitter. We've seen him quit on many occasions. And, you know, I think he could possibly get TKO'd or subbed in this fight. But Joseph Morales, I just think he isn't quite on that same level as the guys who've been able to finish Matt Schnell. But the way I think it's going to go, I think Morales is going to touch him up on the feet. And I think he's going to dominate on the ground. And I do think he's probably going to lock up like a tight choke, like a rear naked choke or a guillotine at some point in this fight. But I do think Matt Schnell will be able to escape and go on to lose a 30-27 decision. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Joseph Morales to dominate and win by unanimous decision. All right, last fight to talk about in the main event of the evening. We got Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Rude Boy Brown. I mean, what can I say? Gabriel Bonfim main event, bro. I mean, just like, what are these guys fucking doing? Okay, but at least we got Randy Brown to make up for it. But, I mean, Gabriel Bonfim, he literally robbed Wonderboy and got fraud checked a year ago. And somehow landed himself in a main event. And on the other side, we got Rude Boy Randy Brown. I mean, this guy, Rude Boy, he's a badass fighter. I'll give him that. Like, he has slick-ass striking and a super underrated ground game. Okay? And him winning is in the script for the JDM agenda. Okay? Shout out my boy JDM. Okay? I mean, this is a win that's aged very well. Rude Boy Randy Brown's fucking good, and JDM finished him in round 1. So, I mean, what does that say about JDM? But yeah, in regards to how the fight's going to go, I do think Bonfim, I think he's going to get pieced up on the feet. I mean, Randy is way bigger than him and way better on the feet. I think he's going to tag him really good on the feet. And I do think they probably will go to the ground at some point. I don't know if Bonfim's going to be able to take him down. It might happen after like a knockdown or something. Bonfim might shoot a flying guillotine or, try to pull guard or something like that. So I think it will end up in the ground at some point, and therefore Randy Brown will probably end up in like an armbar or a guillotine, like I said, something like that. But I do think Randy's going to be able to reverse it, get on top, and start doing fucking nasty-ass damage with like elbows and shit like that. I do think he's going to hit him with like a like a big-ass elbow and fucking cut him wide open. Wearing the fucking crimson mask, I think Bonfim's going to be bleeding really fucking badly. And due to that, I think eventually Bonfim, I think he's going to get tired. He's going to be bleeding. And in like late round 3 or round 4, I think he's going to be shooting for dear fucking life. He's going to be shooting over and over again and failing. And Randy's just going to get out of the way every time, make him stand up. And I think Randy's eventually going to catch him and TKO him in round 4. I think it's either going to be a right hand or like a front kick to the face. I can just see one of those two happening. And I think Randy Brown, he's going to win by knockout. So, yeah, that's the official pick for the main event. I got Randy Brown to win by TKO in round 4. So, yeah, those are the official picks for the card, boys. We got Jackson McVeigh, Denise Gomes, Daniel Marcos, Josh Hokett, Mayra Bueno Silva, Adrian Yanez, Hyder Emil, Marco Tulio, Ricky Simone, Chris Padilla, Muslim Salikov, Joseph Morales, and Randy Brown. Now, as for performance of the night, I do think the two that you're going to see, I think it's going to be Muslim Salikov and Adrian Yanez for those CTE Society KOs. I do have to give honorable mention to my boy Randy Rude Boy Brown and then Hyder Emil. I think they're going to get some nice knockouts as well. And we could possibly see the 4 performance bonus thing that we've seen a few times now. But I think we're going to have a fight of the night. And I mean, obviously, it's going to be CLD, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. I mean, that fight, it's just guaranteed going to be a fucking banger. Both guys always put on good-ass fights. If that fight is not a fucking banger, I will be changing the channel to TNasty WWE. All right, but like I said, my Uncle Albie, he sent me the script. I know what's happening, so make sure to parlay the opposite of every pick if you enjoy free money. But yeah, that's it for the video, boys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, share this shit on Facebook, hype the video, become a channel member, duplicate your account, and then repeat those steps for me. If you're not doing those things, you're just a straight up fucking casual with all due respect. All right, but yes, please, I don't mean to beg, but I will get down on my knees if I have to. Please go down and subscribe, boys. I'm on the road to 250. We just need a few more. And once I hit that milestone, I'm going to be giving out some free TNasty t-shirts. So make sure to subscribe if you want some fire-ass merch. Okay? But yeah, like I said, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Take it easy, gang.